Valheim. The game you can only play for exactly 100 days, just added some new dev commands that are equally hilarious and useful. I'll explain what they are and how to use them, and at the end, you'll get the world's first look at Valheim racing. But first, the boring bit. World modifiers, a feature added as part of the new Hildir's request update, allows you to customize aspects of the game such as combat difficulty, along with other, even more important, gameplay components. We'll see how you can use dev commands to directly edit the values associated with these world modifiers to anything that you wish. These commands are nearly all of the form Setkey, followed by a property you wish to modify, and then the percentage of the default value you'd like to change it to. If you're hosting a multiplayer game, then these changes will affect everyone, and these values are even saved between sessions. So if you get sick of Greylings doing 400 million damage, just go to the world modifiers screen and hit reset to normal. All these commands with extra details are in the description, along with how to enable dev commands on PC and Xbox. With that out of the way, let's look at the commands that affect the properties of creatures. So this first one is the most fun in my opinion. The command Setkey EnemySpeedSize and then a percentage will make all creatures spawn with that speed and, you guessed it, colour. This is of course a great way to mess with friends.
Holy shit!
What? Oh my god! That's scary!
Even when you change the creature size by doing this, their weapons and shields stay the same.
It looks like a butter knife.
He's gonna ship us.
He was halfway doing a sandwich.
Not just that, but when killed, their corpses return to normal size too. It seems area of effect attacks also don't scale with enemy size, meaning that small creatures hit hard from a distance, while their larger counterparts struggle to get close enough to attack you. Small fuelings were too cute for me to hate, and tiny death skeetos were even more annoying than usual. Bet you didn't think that was possible. But then, a genius asked the most important question of our time.
If we had a tiny tamed Lox, could you ride it?
Oh, that is a very good question.
Yes.
And so, we gave it a go. Who wants to take it for a spin?
Yeah, right.
Oh, can it go uphill?
It is like in the ground, basically.
I think this is as fast as you'll go.
And while it was funny, since this command changes both size and speed, the small Loxes obviously moved pretty slowly. But we accidentally found a way around this. To understand how, you need to know that I love messing with my friends. Like what I decided to do while we were checking out an outpost filled with giant divergers.
Can they go inside actually? I don't think they can.
What the hell?
Who
someone do?
attacked? Who the fuck did that?
Someone attacked.
I was stuck in the middle. Who attacked them?
The only one who's not asking.
Hi YouTube. So anyway, later on I wanted to mess with them some more by turning up the creature size without telling anyone. And this happened.
What?
We'd accidentally figured out that while the creatures that have already spawned in don't change in size, they do change in speed. Holy shit!
Holy shit, you're so fast.
So you can first use the EnemySpeedSize command to give the creatures the size you wish, then spawn in the creatures you want, and finally use the command again to then change their speed. This is of course what led us to make a track to race these super speed mini Loxes. But before that, let's quickly go over some of the other interesting commands. While the names enemy damage and player damage might seem self-explanatory, one of them is actually a total lie. Setkey EnemyDamage modifies the attack values of creatures towards players and other enemies, but not to structures or other objects. Setkey Player Damage, on the other hand, forced me to send the devs over 300 angry emails. The command in fact modifies creature HP, not player attack. This means that damage from the environment against creatures is also affected, while player damage to structures in the environment doesn't change. I will say these two commands definitely gave me an idea for a different challenge that I might try out soon. Now, there are 3 commands relating to stamina use, but this first one is really all you need. Setkey Stamina Rate modifies all stamina use, and so by setting this to 0, you completely turn off all stamina cost. Setkey Move Stamina Rate works the same, but only for stamina due to running and jumping, while Stamina Regen Rate just modifies the stamina regeneration speed. Next, by typing Setkey Dungeon Build, you can build in areas such as Smouldering Tombs and Sunken Crypts. I'm sure people will come up with some crazy builds in the infested citadel. The Setkey Resource Rate command modifies the quantities of drops you receive from enemies in the environment. To stop your PC from exploding, it seems to max out at 5000%, and it could be possibly used to solve world hunger if the devs were to figure out a way to implement this in the real world. Setkey Enemy Level Up Rate essentially acts as a multiplier to the probabilities of encountering starred creatures. Numbers greater than 100 will increase the chance of starred creatures appearing, with 2-star variants becoming especially more common. Setkey Event Rate modifies the frequency of raid events. Smaller values actually increase the frequency of raids by both decreasing the time between possible raid events and increasing the probability that they occur. Why not set the event rate to 0.01 and enjoy 3 new raids every second, just like me? So those are the most interesting of the commands in my opinion. With that out of the way, I wanted to show you some footage from a couple of races we did with these Loxes. Enjoy.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh.
Now, I still haven't answered the most important question with these racing Loxes, which is, what happens if you crank up the speed even more? So it seems like you start phasing through matter until you move far enough that massive new creatures try to spawn in and lag the hell out of the game. I was hoping for it to be as cool as the harpoon glitch, but there you go. So I'll leave it there. I just wanted to give a special thanks to Sir Mr. Dr. God and QPN6PH9Q. As always, thank you so much for watching. Cheers. QPN6PH9... Fuck, what the fuck? I'm not even reading it right. QPN6PH9... Fuck this. Don't even know why I'm trying to say it fast.